Okay, most players when they design a base, design it to defend go wee wee or design it to defend air, but very few design it to defend barch. And so what happens is that barches come along and pick you off. And this is an example of a really funny raid where an archer player is picking off my base. But what I wanted to do is use this raid to talk about, how do you actually set your base if you want to defend against archers or barch or BAM, how do you actually change your base? Now, there's a couple of things to watch while this raid is going on. I'm showing this raid because it's got a really funny ending to the raid. Anyway, the things you've got to do are, first is you need to make sure the enemies of barch are your mortars, your wizard towers, your bombs, particularly your big bombs, and your bows because they're rapid fire. So the trick to defending barch, if you want to do it, or tweak your base so it's a bit better at barch or archer defense, is you need to make sure your bows are wide. So if I was to make this base more of a barch defense, I might move my bow, swap my bow with my king, swap my bow with the queen, and put both to ground. So the bow is covering all the perimeter. And this one, I could probably leave that there. Or if I wanted to, I could move it deeper and put it set to ground. But the key is you actually need your range on your bows to be covering most of your perimeter. The next thing in setting for barch, now I'll pause it here because I don't want to show you the ending until I get to the end of the video. The next thing in setting for barch is you want to have your big bomb shallower. It's like, so I've got a big bomb here, big bomb in here, some big bombs behind. You actually want to put them, say, here, but some place where it's going to catch a lot of archers. So if again, if you're tweaking your base for barch, move your big bombs out a bit more. So in terms of the perimeter circle of your base, where your barch is going to hit, particularly where they're going to cluster and route, like so this is a good place for a bomb, that's a good place for a bomb. Particularly those types of places. That's how you tweak your sort of bombs for barch. Then the other obvious thing is, setting up your splash damage. You want your splash damage so it doesn't go too early, but your mortars you want covering your perimeter buildings. They're going to lightning one or two mortars, so just keep that in mind. But you want to have your mortars so they're all covering the perimeter. And same with your whiz towers. This is a common setup for barch. A whiz tower behind a store or whiz tower behind another high hit point building. Another good way of defending barch. So that's how you set your base. Now this is a funny raid because this guy was cruising, archering through my base, knocking it off pretty easily as you do with barch. And one of the things a lot of players do these days is they try and preserve their heroes. So you can see as he's sort of 47, 48, soon 49, and misclick, he's just surrendered a tad early and given me 30 cups. How sweet is that?